Welcome back to Morning Coffee. Megan here with another video on organization, goal-getting, productivity, and personal growth. Today we are talking about how I stay organized. How I stay organized. That's a good question. I make tons of videos here on this channel about turning your to-do list into your dream life, and I have the big goal to add 1,000 subscribers to this channel here in 2020. Make sure you subscribe to this channel to support the channel and the work we do, to join the community, and make sure you're the first to hear about all the other great video resources we are sharing twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. Thank you for subscribing. First and foremost, the number one way that I stay organized is to write everything down. Write it all down. I know that we live in the digital age, and I know that having a paper planner is like the equivalent of chiseling into stone with a rock, but there is actually research that proves that you retain more information when you write it down. In Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figureoutable, she quotes a Georgetown study where she says that you are 42% more likely to achieve a goal if you write it down. So I'm just saying, I'm not the only one that approaches it this way, and I know that some of you out there are paper planners too. So writing everything down is absolutely the number one way that keeps me organized. I've shown this in a couple of videos before, but this is my planner. This is a day designer planner. This is the daily version. This is one of the retail line items, so something you can find in like Target, Walmart, Office Max. I just ordered a beautiful new luxury day designer that I reviewed in in one of my latest videos that I will be starting to use in July. But I have a paper planner. It has a page for every day, and every single day I write down the things that I need to get done in here. It's how I remember birthdays. It's how I remember my schedule. I'm in the event industry, which means that my schedule is different every single week, and if I didn't write it down, I would never remember. This is where obviously I put birthdays and anniversaries and trips, but also actually scheduling in things that I want to work on. Like, okay, I have this creative project. Great. On Wednesday, I have 2 hours here and I'm going to work on it then. When I have to remind myself to do something, I have Post-its and I'll write it down and I'll leave it in my bathroom or on the kitchen counter on my desk so that I'll remember that thing. Writing it down and having it visually in front of me is 100% is 100% the reason that I'm as organized as I am. I'm not perfect. I forget things fall through the cracks, but for the most part, writing things down is the number one way that I keep myself organized. The next way that I keep myself organized is to keep lists on my phone. So I just talked about how I write everything down, but there are certain things that are just most convenient to have on my phone. For example, my grocery list. When I'm cooking dinner and I'm in the kitchen and I notice that we're running low on milk, I'll pull out my phone. I just use the Notes app on my Google phone, but you also have this feature in iPhones and stuff like that. I just go ahead and I have a list that's always lists of grocery items. So I'll just pop it in there. If I get out of the shower and I start to put on my facial moisturizer and I notice that I'm running low, I pop it into that note. The reason that it's on my phone is because then when I go to the store, I know I have my list with me. If it's on paper, I'm not going to necessarily remember it, but I always have my phone. So I keep my grocery list in my phone. I also keep a list of like wish list items, so things I see that I want to buy, like a new planner or new work shoes or new leggings. I keep those on a list in my phone, again for the same reason that when I'm out and about and looking for things, I can reference that list. I also keep a list of gifts for people. So especially when it comes to Christmas time, sometimes it can be hard to like think of all of these gift ideas at once. I always have a list on my phone of gift ideas for people that I collect all throughout the year, so that when it does get to the time where it's Christmas or their birthday or their anniversary or Christmas or whatever, I've got a list of ideas to go off of. One of my favorite lists that's in my phone is actually my address book. So when we got married 2 years ago, obviously I created a Google Doc of all the addresses for our invitations and everything. Well, what I realized is that I now have a digital address book for pretty much everybody we know. And it's accessible from my phone because I can access my Google Docs from my phone. So when I'm out about and I need to go to the post office, or my mom emails me and is like, hey, can you text me Aunt Sharon's address? Do you still have it? I do. And I can grab it right there because it's in Google Docs and it's on my phone. Super convenient. So think about the kinds of things that you need to access while you're out and away from your home, and keep lists like that on your phone to help keep you organized. When it comes to my work schedule, as a team, we utilize digital calendars. So we use Outlook. At a previous job, we used Google Calendar. I'm sure a lot of you use Google Calendar in your own lives, whether that's personally or work as well. Digital calendaring allows people to invite you to meetings. And so if a coworker is doing a tour and is scheduling a tour and I'm the person that's on that day, they can schedule it, put it on my calendar and invite me to it so I know I have a tour on that day. The great thing about digital calendaring is the shareable aspect to it. So I can look at it, my boss can look at it, my coworkers can look at it, whatever works. I know some people utilize this personally as well. I have a friend where her and her husband have a shared Google Calendar for their social schedule. They have a child and a dog, and so it's like he needs to know when she has plans and vice versa, so that someone is at home taking care of the house and the kids and the dogs and the babies while the other person is out. So they have a shared calendar for their social events. So I personally use it for work, but I know a lot of people that use it personally as well. So a digital calendar helps me manage my hours, my schedules, my appointments for work specifically, because those things need to be shared with other people. Speaking of tasks that you have to do every week, most of us, all of us, live in a space of some kind and have to upkeep it, clean it, keep it organized, all of those kinds of things. Especially right now, we're all spending a little bit more time at home than we normally are, because this is April 2020 and we're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're spending a lot of time at home. So one of the things I do to keep my home organized is to have a cleaning schedule. And what I mean by this is I just took a few minutes, about 20 minutes, to sit down, list out the tasks that I like to do to clean my home. So sweep the kitchen floor, clean the bathroom, vacuum the living room, etc. And I decided how much or how often I'd like to do those things. So clean my living room, which for me means dusting and vacuuming. Clean my living room, okay, I want to do that every 2 weeks. So I've assigned a task, a specific time frame to get it done, and then I pair it with like items. So for example, the 2 bathrooms that we have here upstairs, one's in our master and one is in the hallway, and they're actually like right next to each other. Like there's obviously the door to get into our master, but they're located right next to each other. So when I clean them together, because it's really easy to just clean the mirror in this one, walk 3 steps, clean the mirror in this one, etc. So I've assigned a specific frequency to the tasks, to the rooms really, because it's not like I'm gonna sweep the bathroom floor and then another day do the toilet. That's silly. Essentially, I assign a frequency to every room as far as when I want it cleaned. And so then I know every other week, okay, I'm cleaning the bathroom this week. Every other week I'm cleaning both bathrooms. I'm cleaning the dining room this week. Next week is the living room. Putting these things kind of on an automated schedule helps keep your house looking pretty darn clean all the time, because you're on this constant rotation. So essentially every room in my home has been cleaned within the last 2 weeks. And it's just me and my husband. We don't have kids or dogs. So for us, that's actually pretty good. You're going to have to decide a schedule that works best for you. But again, kind of putting the normal cleaning tasks that you have to do on a weekly rotation of some kind, or a daily rotation, or whatever you need to do, helps kind of streamline that process for you. So instead of letting your living room get so dirty that all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I've got to spend an hour cleaning it, plus an hour cleaning my kitchen and an hour cleaning my bathrooms, you can spend like 10, 20 minutes every day or every other day, or for me every week, and clean one item, have it done, and then you move on to something else. I just find that I don't have large stretches of time in my day to get things done. I don't have 4 hours to clean my whole house. It works better for me to break up those tasks into smaller little things that kind of are on a rotating schedule. So maybe that will help you. I do have a blog post all about my cleaning schedule, so I'll link that below in case you want to check it out. The next system I use to keep myself organized is meal planning. Again, we're spending a lot of time at home right now. We are cooking at home right now. I can't tell you the feeling when I realize that because we're not going out to eat, I am solely responsible for feeding the two of us for the known future. And I was like, oh, wow. And so now more than ever, having a meal plan is important. And I actually do this in a really flexible way. So again, it's just me and my husband, and we don't necessarily need to assign a meal to a day. And like, we're eating this on Monday, and we're eating this on Tuesday. It's more like every week I need a set of 3 to 5 meals that I have all the ingredients for, and those are the things that we can eat throughout the week. I leave myself the flexibility of when we eat them, but I know I have everything on hand to make those. So I call that like a flexible meal plan. I get recipes from a couple of places. I subscribed to Yummly, Yummly. They're a recipe website. I signed up for their emails, and every week they email me their most popular recipes. I think it's 2 or 3 times a week. So that's a great way where recipes get delivered right to your inbox. I love Emily Bites on Instagram. She is a food blogger, and she always includes like Weight Watchers points in her recipes, which is kind of a cool bonus if that's something you're interested in. But again, she thinks of ideas for me. Obviously, Pinterest has a bajillion recipes. I'm sure you've got a million recipes on your recipes board that you can use. And I often find that people are sharing recipes on Facebook. So that's where I get them. And then I go grocery shopping about once a week. For us, that's enough. Sometimes it has to be 2 times if we've run out of like milk or fresh produce, and you just kind of have to stop by. Right now we're trying to go to the store as little as possible, so it's a little all over the place right now, but essentially save yourself the time of running to the store a bajillion times a week, right? It's like streamline it and take as little trips as possible. Not only does it waste time, but you could end up spending some extra money at the store with every extra trip that you make. Another thing that really helps me stay organized is my night routine. So when it gets to dinner time, I make dinner. My husband and I sit down together and we eat dinner, and then we watch a show. Right now we're binging on all of the old episodes of Criminal Minds. I'm now suddenly suspicious that everyone is a creeper. I'm sure that happens to you when you watch like murder shows or cop shows, right? But it's like you see someone out and about and you're like, he looks suspicious. His body language is off. Why is his hand moving like that? Is he lying? So, side effect. But anyway, we'll sit down, we'll watch our shows, and then my husband works really early in the morning. So usually after we've watched a show or 2, he goes to bed. And so when he goes to bed, my night routine starts. That starts with going to the kitchen, cleaning up all the dishes from dinner, unloading and loading the dishwasher, cleaning the sink and the counters. It used to include getting our lunches packed and ready for the day. Right now, again, we're in the middle of a quarantine, so I don't have to do that, which is a huge blessing. I don't even have to like pack lunches for kids. It's just me and my husband. But like, Jesus, that is one perk, that I don't have to pack lunches. Pack lunches, get the coffee ready for the next morning, sweep the floor, just kind of get the kitchen all set up. That way I come into a clean space in the morning. My coffee is ready to go when we were leaving the house. Our lunches were ready to go. And so it just kind of made my morning easier and going on a nice pace, nothing crazy. And then after that, I write in my start to day journal, and then I read. So I spend about 15, 20 minutes on those 2 tasks. And then before bed, I always shower. Once I get my reading done, I'll usually spend some time on my phone, just being totally honest, scrolling Pinterest and Instagram and watching videos on YouTube and catching up on Facebook and all that stuff. And then I shower. Shower is the last thing that I do before I go to bed, so I'm relaxed and clean. And kind of having this system of just things I do automatically every weeknight, again, just keeps me organized, keeps the kitchen organized, keeps my morning running smoothly. I really feel like mornings set the tone for your day, and they can start you off in a disorganized way or they can start you off in an organized way. And so my night routine really helps set up an organized morning for me. I hope you enjoyed this video on the things that I use to stay organized. I'm certainly not perfect. My life isn't a completely organized, beautiful piece of art at all times, but I do my best to keep myself organized. I just think it makes life easier and more enjoyable, and I know it's not for everyone. I know some of these tips are going to work for you and some aren't, but this was really me sharing all of the things that have helped me have success in staying organized, and I hope you found them helpful too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss another video that I share about organization, getting stuff done, productivity, planning, all the things. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much.